is a warfighting domain.
Yo, what did he just say?
It's a warfighting domain.
A what?
Warfighting domain.
Really? You want to turn space into a war zone? You know what's funny? When he first said that, I was tripping. But now, maybe he's right. A space war may be the answer to all of our problems.
When you said that last time, I was kind of tripping, right? But now, you're right.
A question that I think about a whole lot is how can we create world peace? And the quickest way might be 2 words: alien attack. Now let me preface that. I don't want to suggest that aliens are the hostile, aggressive creatures that we see in movies, because that idea and fear is based on our own human record of what happens when we come into contact with more primitive civilizations. So let's not project our motives onto them. I also want to suggest that perhaps the best evidence of the existence of alien life out there is the fact that they haven't made themselves completely known to us, which is a very smart move considering some of our behavior. But hypothetically speaking, it seems to me that nothing brings people closer together than having a common enemy. I mean, if we had an alien attack, you would see neo-Nazi, Black Lives Matter, Republican, Democrats coming together and holding hands. Even Drake and Meek Mill would hug it out and probably become friends again. It is said that necessity is the mother of invention, meaning that we change only when we need to change. Isn't it only when our health starts to scare us that we begin to take care of our bodies? Isn't it only when we have a near-death experience that we fully realize the fragile nature of life? Wasn't it in The Matrix that Neo had to see Morpheus almost die and Zion almost get destroyed before he plugged back in and became the one? So based on all of this evidence, let me say it again. Man needs a catalyst to change, or else he remains as he is. See, the human brain's first priority is to survive. It is not to be peaceful. So if we want world peace, circumstances must be adjusted to the point that our very survival depends on us being peaceful with each other. If we want world peace, there must be a dire problem that cannot be solved other than with the world coming together. Now, I don't think any cataclysmic event will do. I say alien attack because I don't think a plague would work. I mean, we've all seen The Walking Dead. Rick and the rest of that world are just trying to kill each other instead of coming together to figure out what the heck is going on and maybe find a solution. So no plague. We need an enemy that we can see, and all the better if it comes from another world. Here's an interesting study to emphasize the point. Dr. Muzaffar Sherif, founder of modern social psychology, did an interesting experiment. He brought a group of boys together for a summer camp. Upon arrival, the boys were placed in 2 separate cabins, each cabin given its own name. Muzaffar had the boys compete with each other at different events like treasure hunts. Eventually, conflict arose. The boys became aggressive. They began raiding each other's cabins, stealing possessions. Then Sherif did something very interesting. Sherif told the boys that the truck that was to deliver food to the camp got stuck. In order to be fed, the boys had to work together to help the truck out of its predicament. Next, Sherif stopped the water supply, and the boys had to work together to fix this crisis. Finally, the boys were told that movie night had been canceled due to lack of funds. The boys pooled money together from both cabins to rescue the movie night. Conflicts disappeared. The boys began eating together. Towards the end of the experience, the boys were asked to list their best friends. The lists frequently contained names from both cabins. And on the final bus ride home, during a meal stop, some of the boys with funds saw the boys from the other cabin without money, and they treated them to milkshakes. Through the shared challenges, the boys learned the value of helping each other out, working together, and their conflicts disappeared. Now, I for one am a hopeless romantic. I believe that humans don't need an alien attack to change, and we can evolve without that happening. I think that with the right adjustments in our culture and our education, we can go from mankind to kind man. We can go from Homo sapiens to Homo spiritus, a more spiritual and connected human being. But at the same time, I'm conflicted because my heart tells me what man could be in the next 100 years, while history shows me what man has been for the last 60 centuries. The irony, of course, is that we need an invader to threaten a planet that we are already killing ourselves. And even if we did come together against an alien attack and we won, how long would it be before we revert back to our old ways of racism, classism, sexism, and every other ism, and ultimately bringing back the greatest, most wicked foreign invader that we have ever known? The human ego.
In all, there have been about 114 wars since World War II. But I've often wondered, what if all of us in the world discovered that we were threatened from outer space, from another planet? Wouldn't we all of a sudden find that we didn't have any differences between us at all? We were all human beings, citizens of the world, and wouldn't we come together to fight that particular threat?
The only way to unite this incredibly divided world of ours. They're out there. We better think of how all the differences among people on Earth would seem small if we felt threatened by a space invader.
I can't reveal anything.
Oh, really? Because President Clinton said he did go right in and he did check, and there was nothing.
Well, you know, that's what we're instructed to say.